Yes, that's right. We've updated it just a tad because we have moved on from the Agony Booth to Strange New Worlds. So excited to have everybody joining us this week. I have all my lovely friends. We are fully in-house this week. We've got Commander Jace, because I had to give him a promotion after he battled Teddy in a Gorin way with a knife and crocodiles and everything. We've got
rock boulders.
Giant rock boulder, yep. We got Jason Roy Gaston. Welcome back, Space Daddy. We've got Annie, EMH now online, and of course, Captain Nita of the USS Caliente. And I'm Joe Dove.
Joe, I've got to interrupt the show here because we need to address something immediately. We've got to deal with this. The thumbnail of the show.
Okay.
Could I have not gotten this any more wrong? All right. Because good old Commander Dipshit right here thought he'd be smart and go, I'm going to make the thumbnails for the whole series.
Yeah, that's right.
Ahead of time. And I couldn't have been wrong. And to make it worse, Joe, you added the title, which was The Explosive Return of Captain Pike. I changed it to The Explosive Non-Return of Captain Pike.
Yeah, because he was in it for like 5 seconds.
So welcome to the new series, guys. This is the level of expertise you're about to get.
I'm bringing out my snacks.
He's brought his shreddies out. Let's go.
Are you having your shreddies again?
Yeah, this is these are smart foods.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Said something to Joe, please.
Yes.
Why? It's a payback.
Wow.
All right.
No, just hoping it rubs off on you.
Let's head into our Make It So, Captain. The Broken Circle. A distress call from Lieutenant Commander Union Singh compels Spock to disobey orders and take the USS Enterprise and its crew into disputed space.
How many times is this ship going to get stolen anyhow?
I stole it yesterday.
Right.
And I've got the ghetto prize here somewhere in the proper Enterprise.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, let's make it so, Commander.
Make it so, Commander.
Thanks. Wow.
So classic.
A little bit of an extended edition, that one.
Yeah, look at that.
It'd be nice to see the Vulcan, not only reflect what he heard, but maybe he smelt it at that time as well.
And return the face.
That was so classy. I love it.
Yeah, we're really totally new levels. All right. Well, Chase, Commander, what did you think? What was our first contact?
Look, I had a blast with this episode. I think a lot of people will. But it's a pretty predictable episode too. And there are some things that I'm like Jace just said, we're going to steal the ship again. But overall, it's a wonderful episode. It's really funny. We got the introduction of Commander Pelia, which was just delightful. And we got some real darkness there, so I can't wait to talk about it more. So it was really good.
Awesome. I thought this was a very fun return, and they're starting to begin the mystery box again. So I was kind of like, so we're going to have a whole mystique about the engineer. So that's what stuck out to me the most. Annie, what were your first contacts?
Starfleet has a real disciplinary problem in that the first officer keeps stealing the ship.
Yeah.
And then there's no consequences, which I find interesting as ex-military. So, oh well. But
right.
Honestly, I kind of thought this was going to be all about Pike and Una, and then they did the old switcheroo on us and sent us after Noonien Singh, and that was fun. Very interested to see where this new engineer goes.
All right, Jason Roy Gaston, as you fill your mouth with surprises, tell us from that mouth what's going on. Sorry.
That is so wrong.
That's my funny.
I'm not done. Hold on.
All right, need it up.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Jason.
Go ahead, Jace. Jason.
I'll be quick. Don't worry.
Don't.
I was underwhelmed.
Oh.
I was underwhelmed, and I'm very concerned with Carol Kane because she's going to be developing back problems from carrying the entire episode.
Wow.
And that's all I'll say for now.
All right, Nita.
I half agree with Jason. I was underwhelmed. I was expecting something more grandiose for a first episode. A lot of maybe conversations and trial around Una, because I figure, well, we got to get the Una thing out of the way, right? So that they can move forward with Una. But there really wasn't. And it wasn't a bad episode. I just don't think it was a good first episode.
Okay, well, you're wrong, and everybody has their opinion. So we will continue through the comments. So go ahead, Nita. Let's say hello to everybody.
I don't know. I don't want to. No, we have Matt here.
Matt,
Hello,
what's up,
how are
Matt?
you?
Well, good to see you. Now, Matt is very famous. The reason why Matt is famous is because he's the one that took that infamous Teddy picture that you've been seeing on all of our socials. So thank you.
Yes.
For shout you out. He's
Thank
like
you,
the
Matt. You've
dog
been
with-
able to provide me lots of material
yeah.
for what I do with poor
Yeah.
Teddy.
We have the lovely and beautiful Cosmic Mom with
With
us.
Teddy on her shoulder.
Hey.
Be careful, Mom.
Yes.
Cosmic Mom.
We have Sarah.
Hey,
Hey,
Sarah.
Rose, who will be on Sci-Fi Queens tomorrow with us. She'll be
Ooh,
joining us.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Don't tell
Wonderful.
anyone. We've got Devin. Hi, Devin.
What's up,
Devin, buddy, how are you, mate?
We've got Admiral.
Admiral.
Fun is
Hey.
here. We
Lovely
got
stuff.
Aaron Sugar here saying hello.
Oh,
to
I haven't
us.
seen
Hey,
you in a long
Aaron.
time. How are you,
We
buddy?
have another sci-fi queen in the chat.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
she's got a request for us, guys. She says, "Hey guys, I'm still watching the episode. You guys aren't
You
going
might want to
do
turn us off.
spoilers, right?"
No, don't turn us off. Keep us on in the background. Just mute us. Just
She
mute us.
does make a good point, but on the other hand, no.
Yeah, and we have Holodeck 4.
Oh,
Hello.
buddy, how are you?
And we have Ernesto
chief.
Castagna.
What's up?
And I say that
He
name
was
in
He was a
French.
great guest last week.
Agony booth
Yeah.
last week, so he'll be.
How
coming
are
to
you,
the
my
Agony booth.
friend?
Fantastic.
Yes.
He enjoyed his time, so he's going to return in agony.
And Aaron says, steal the ship, lock out command codes, disobey order. If Starfleet disciplines everyone, there'll be nobody left to man the waste extraction.
You know, the thing that stinks about that whole thing is that Mariner can look at her mom the wrong way, and she's on waste extraction. She's kicked off the ship and sent to
Yes.
Starbase 80. Spock steals the entire damn Enterprise, and Admiral April is just like, "You scamp, come back here. Don't do that again."
I know, like he's hood. He's like, it's all good, brother.
Yeah.
You stole it. You fixed Starfleet.
All-
You protected us. It's all good.
All I'm
And we
saying is
also
that
have here, this Philip Bryan.
He was a guest a few weeks ago.
Yes. How are you doing? Let's see who else we have here. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of people on here. And Philip said, "Love the parallels with Search for Spock, the Menage, and even Undiscovered Country."
Yeah, there's a lot of good points.
It is
yeah.
true.
Very good, very
Interesting.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so let us, Commander, engage. Uh-oh.
It's a time of reflection. It's a time to realize that I unfairly, over the last few months, have been attacking Teddy. I want to deeply publicly apologize because I've been able to spend some time with Teddy and realize the importance of Teddy and what he means. So officially now, I join you in all hailing the great leader, the supreme ruler, Teddy.
Thanks,
As
Matt.
he now takes us to a new era where we can, as a people, under his reign, ensure that he gets plenty of snacks and he will look after us.
Yeah, he will.
Because nobody and I mean this, after spending my time with Teddy, will look after the planet like Teddy will.
That was my photo.
I'm not sure how all the environmentalists are going to feel about Teddy drilling for oil in Alaska like that.
All right, Commander, engage. Let's go.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Wow. I forgot about that part. All right, we're going to start off with Annie this week because it's good to see your face back in the place to be in the Captain's Quadrant.
That's right.
Forum. I got all that plugging in.
So
Go ahead.
fun.
Tell us about it.
This episode, I found it. I guess I just wanted something different in my brain. I don't think there were any cons necessarily because I think they're building the Una story, and I think that's going to become really big in a few episodes. I think they're just kind of slowly building momentum on that. I loved the adventure of this episode. I loved seeing Spock in the command chair. Of course, I think initially I was like, wait, why is Spock there? And then you realize the captain's out and Una's out. So he's, as the second officer, he would be the one to take command of the Enterprise.
Box number 2.
Mm-hmm. The Klingon drinking scene was hysterical.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
The best. Yes.
And the idea of a Vulcan drinking blood wine, kind of weird since they're like vegan. But hey, Spock does whatever he wants. So
He's half human.
that's right.
After
I wanted more information. So Carol Kane is this. I cannot remember for the life of me the name of
Commander Palia.
Yes, sorry, that's the actress's name. Oh my god. She is this long, almost immortal species.
It's like a walker almost.
Yeah, and she mentions knowing Spock's mom. I want more details.
Me too.
I want.
Look, I hooked up with your mother years ago. I was very drunk.
She said she knew her. She wasn't saying she was sleeping with her, Joe.
Yeah.
I thought she was on.
Oh, my stepmom's here.
She said she's the first one that she came out to, all that, which I thought was interesting also because it is Pride Month. So
Yay.
pretty
Love is love.
nice little allusion there, right? Yeah, Rainbow Captain's Quadrant.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm very excited to see where this season goes. This one was a solid episode for me, but it wasn't wow. You know what I mean? Didn't take my breath away, if that makes sense. But it was a great episode. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off that. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my favorite pro of this episode. And if you notice that everything is green here because I want some of that green juice. I want to go and get so much power. I can start going, pika, pika, pika. And
I think we lost our captain. He lost his mind.
kick everybody off the ship. And I just really go crazy. I love that. And it was so smooth. The way Mbenga walked down that hallway, I always start expecting the James Bond theme to come on. He was just incredible. I love that. And then, of course, Nurse Chapel throwing some punches in herself, getting feeling the expression of the look of her on her face when the juice runs out and she goes to punch the one Klingon. I was like, ah! It reminded me when the guys shoot Superman. And then all of a sudden they run out of bullets, and then they throw the gun at Superman. Whatever, Superman goes, "Oh no!" And then he ducks the gun, and then they run up and try to punch him, and they end up. It's why are you doing this? But I absolutely had so much fun, and this is what you want. You can't give me everything in one episode. You gotta give it to me slowly. I like it nice and slow. I like to be passionate about my Star Trek. I liked it so that we get together and we just kind of.
Okay, you're making me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, this whole thing. I'm
All right, so
I'm thinking I have to call someone.
All right, VHS Chase. My con for this episode was that ship. There was it's a weird con. So they couldn't just the whole thing was it's this ship that's supposed to be massive, and when it came up, it was like micro machines, and it was almost. I felt like Luan could have just went and grabbed it and held it like, hey, where are you going? And so it was just like a depth perception thing that they had going. It's a very small con. And I feel like Admiral April is behind something that might be pretty bad, and that sucks because I really like the character. Jace.
All I got to say is I know you guys we're building there's a mystery box, but they kind of reveal at the end with Gorn War. So that's what we're leading up to is Gorn War. Yeah. And I think that's the smart way to go. Look, there's some stuff that I really enjoyed in this. Yeah. I love the opening shot to Starbase 1. I thought that from a visualist, I love the way they did that. Yeah. I like Commander Paley, and I like she's a lanthanite, I believe the species name is.
Lanthanite. Yep.
And I like the fact that she's doing this not because of, remember her conversation with Spock around, What is the hardest thing about being a lanthanite? And he's thinking, everyone you lost. No, boredom.
Yeah.
And so I just love that simple kind of thing where she's manipulated herself to get on there. I love her choice of accent, which really kind of non-distinct. Yeah. She is the MVP of this episode without question. I also love the darkness around Mbenga and Chapel. Yeah. Because Mbenga is extremely damaged goods at this point. Oh, yeah. And ergo, I think it makes him one of the most dangerous and unpredictable people on that ship moving forward.
I agree.
You saw his reaction. I don't know who Chapel was more afraid of, those Klingons or him.
Yeah, there was
And I thought that's a really interesting dynamic to go to. Because in some ways, this show's a bit fatalist, isn't it? We know what happens to these characters.
Yeah.
You could say that, that with Mbenga, that with Pike. You also know that with the relationship between Spock and Chapel, which is really tragic, isn't it? Because we know that it is a tale of unrequited love.
Yeah.
And I really dug that about this episode. The cons, it's pretty predictable. Take a bit from here, take a bit from there, slam it to the way they go. The fact they don't have Captain Pike in the most of this episode, we're all expecting it's the Una episode. But I think what's going to be interesting is next episode it'll be, as that was happening with the Enterprise, we're going to see what's happening with Pike trying to find that lawyer. So
I agree.
Everything else, yes, the Klingon stuff I really loved, I really enjoyed. I love the blood wine scene. I love seeing Spock drunk. Because when he is talking to Commander Paley, he's not coping too well at that point, is he?
He's wobbly.
No.
Wobbly, big fella. Your knees ain't holding up, big fella.
But the last con I want to say is, please, writers of sci-fi, can we move away from space jumps, all right? It's become the new cliche in sci-fi where we have main characters going into space. Leia, Star-Lord, and now we've got that. So maybe move away from that. But, yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Jason Roy Gaston.
Okay. So pros and cons. I like that, and I don't know the name of the actress, but she's the Asian woman who's on the op station across from Ortegas. Yes, I love that they're giving her more to do and making her another character on the bridge. Yes. And to me, that's something. I'm not bashing Discovery. You guys know I love Discovery. Discovery never did anything with its background characters. Even now, I'm barely remembering their names.
Michael Chen.
Yeah, I know him.
He's on the show. You can take a look at the interview.
Yeah, but I like that they're doing something with her. Let's see. I like that Uhura is an ensign and that they handled it in such a very low key way. Just you're an ensign. Yeah, that's what you miss when you leave. And I thought that brought some extra emotion to the episode, considering that they dedicated this episode to Nichelle Nichols with that beautiful dedication at the end. I've already mentioned Carol Kane is awesome. Just make the show about her and I'll be happy. One thing about Chapel and Mbenga's fight in the hallway after they take the super serum juice. Tell me that you weren't thinking about this.
Awesome.
But I
awesome.
Personally, I love that scene. Combat with drugs, I'm all there for it. Babs Ulusak Moken is actually a black belt, according to the Ready Room. So he was doing all of his combat stunts there. as well.
Whoa,
I was
way.
gonna say, like, go ahead, but I'll say it after.
Yep. The Klingon battlecruiser is beautiful. I thought
Yes.
Ethan Peck was amazing during the last little bit whenever he was ordering the ship to fire on the pretend Federation ship. And something I found very interesting is that one of the characters, whenever the ship takes off from the surface, she says, "Oh, I think that's a Crossfield class."
Yes.
Crossfield class is Discovery's class. So is that what Discovery would have? Is that what Discovery would have looked like without the modifications for the spore drive?
Ooh, that's
I mean, it's kind of
interesting.
neat.
Right.
Here's my cons. Number one, that seems like an unsafe traffic pattern around Starbase One because ships are literally.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Like, how come it
who's
didn't just back
mapping
out and turn around and go? It was like,
They-
go this way.
They need one of those little zappy mosquito things out there just to zap all the shuttles that don't stay where they're supposed to be. Okay, so the Enterprise lost contact with Chapel and Minbinga an hour ago and never thought to tell anybody.
Interesting.
During Chapel and Minbinga's fight in the hallway, the Superstar Invincible fight, at one point they jump through a trap door, the camera flips upside down,
Right.
they emerge, and then the camera flips the other way, and I'm thinking, why did they do that?
Because
I thought they were going to do some kind of cool camera trick, but it was just that's all they did.
Yeah, I was confused by that too.
that's because they still had that set piece from Discovery, and since Discovery's going off the air, they're like, "Hey, let's use
They're
that set
using
piece
the
from
extra-
Discovery."
Well, again, it's the Crossfield class. They were using that.
Yeah.
And finally, this is my major gripe about the episode is that they set up this idea that humans and Klingons are working together in the name of profiteering, and
Yeah.
they barely show it to us.
Yep.
All they show are these minions that just run at the main characters and get flattened by drug rage Mbinga I wanted to see that. I wanted to see who was behind it. I wanted to see this operation. Just the idea that humans and Klingons were working together not for peace but for money, which I thought there was no money in the 23rd century, but I digress. I wanted to see more of that, and that's where I feel like this episode was such a letdown, was that it was just very surface level. It was very meh, I guess is the thing I want to say. It's meh. It's not bad, but I do think that whenever the season is over with, we're going to look back on this one and say, yeah, that was probably the weakest of the season.
All right.
Wow.
I agree.
Kitten.
Is that Murder Bean?
This is Demona.
I always get them wrong. I'm terrible.
Well, Demona's got the tail. Murder Bean doesn't have a tail.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Murder Bean is fluffy. This one dreams of blood.
Oh,
Murder
jeez.
Bean.
Yes, there is a request. to
Demona
have
liked the
Murder Bean.
episode.
No, look at that. Then we have a Murder Bean appearance.
Yes.
I'll have to. I don't know where she's at. She's
All
around
right.
here
Well,
somewhere.
hopefully she'll zoom you on in or something.
Yeah, this is Murder Bean's stunt double.
There is one thing I wanted to bring up, and John Daranoski also brought up. Oh, that's the dude. I like that dude. The Klingons. How dope did they look? We finally got a nice
did look
blend
good.
of the Discovery plus TNG Klingons. You know,
Fixing it.
I liked how Uhura said that I don't fully understand what they're saying. They're speaking some weird dialect because it actually fixes a continuity error because it shows that she speaks Klingon earlier in the series, but in Star Trek 6 she doesn't know how to speak the language. There, they just explained it. They were speaking that weird dialect she didn't understand.
Great
very
pickup,
cool.
Jace.
Yeah.
Great
Great.
pickup.
Yep.
All right, Nita. Pros and cons.
Well, I didn't dislike the episode by no means. I liked the episode. I just didn't think it was what I was expecting for a first episode. After all the hype of waiting,
Pros and cons. Keep on talking.
I think though that maybe not bringing Una's trial in the first episode might be a good thing. I think that that's something that will kind of show itself as the episodes progress. Because I'm not a writer, they are. Maybe there's a rhyme and reason for it. So I'm definitely open to see how that works out. I love the Klingons. I love the fact that there was a discussion about the dialect because Klingon dialect does differ. And it's just not something that you hear too much about. And I like the fact that they brought that up. I love the fact that Spock was drinking with the Klingons. I think that there's that misconception because he's Vulcan that the Vulcans wouldn't drink with Klingon blood wine. But I think that if it was logical and necessary, a Klingon would drink with a Vulcan would drink with a Klingon. Absolutely. And I think that at that moment he had to. I think it was the logical choice, and I think it worked out. I love the fight scene. I mean, who does not love Mbenga and
That was
Nurse
the
Chapel's fight scene? That was absolutely the best
Jiu-jitsu.
fight scene. I was
It was-
in awe of that fight scene.
I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to embellish something on that. Do you guys remember the 90s Star Trek when all the fighting, even the 60s, was two fists?
like
blah,
this.
blah, blah, this is going to work great. And then you
Smack,
try to
smack.
do that shit for real, they'll kick your ass. It does
Yeah.
not work. But that jiu-jitsu today, that's
Yes.
going to work. Sorry.
If you don't mind me popping in for just a second, Nita, I apologize. So Aaron Sugar just sent me a message, and I answered him, and he said, "Stop checking your messages in the middle of a podcast." I do what I want.
He
Wow.
really does, Aaron, and he should stop.
It's the level of the show,
That
guys.
is
Yeah.
entrapment. That is entrapment, and I am protesting.
All right.
But
Thanks,
as
Aaron.
I was saying, I really
Oh, you were
did-
saying something. I'm sorry.
I was expecting, I guess, something bigger, but it was a good episode. But I think that I agree with Jason that once we have seen all of season 2, we're gonna go back and go, that was not the strongest of episodes. I'm really excited to see more about what's happening with Dr. Mbenga and that development going on there and him dealing with that. And I really hope they give him at least an episode or half an episode to really kind of give us more on that. I want to know more about this new engineer, her species. This is a new species. I don't think that we've heard of
No,
this
I think we
species
have. Wasn't that
before.
the chick that was hooking up with Picard and when he went back in time? They were
Oh,
like,
Anson
"Oh,
Mount.
you're my friend," and then it was like, "No, I'm not your friend. I'm a human, but I'm this other species that watches you from the distance."
I don't know. Is it them?
No?
No, she was a
Yeah.
Romulan.
No. And so he thought it was the Romulan Lars. He thought it was Lars, but when he went
Yeah.
back in time in season 2, he was like Lars, and she was like, "The fuck? No, I ain't Lars."
Yeah, but then they revealed in her last episode that she actually was Romulan and that she was Laris's like great grandmother or
Yeah,
something.
She was
Yeah.
somehow
No.
related.
Do
Yeah.
you not pay attention to these shows?
Picard season 2 is difficult. To
Okay,
watch.
I understand
You
that.
know, it hurt. It was painful at the end.
Then don't bring it up and
You're-
interrupt me.
Your retention is very
Yeah.
worrisome.
Poor Nita, hey, she's been trying to do her segment.
Oh, John, where is Teddy when I need him to wrangle these fools up? You see what happens? Listen, I am excited to know more about her. I am excited to know more about their species and how they live and everything that's going on. That is like, I love when they introduce new species,
Same.
but I hope they don't keep us hanging. Like, I want more. I want to know more about her. I want to know more about what's going on. And I would love to know the relationship or the friendship that she had with his mom. You know, how much
Did it.
did she know? Not
Totally
that
did it.
way, but
Oh,
just
yeah.
what relationship there was. Was she there when she got married?
Yeah.
Was she there when she was courting him? You know, what was the situation? Did she meet Spock as a baby? Oh, look, it's my
Yeah.
son. You know, what was the situation? I'm excited to know what relationship they're going to develop based on their connection from his mother.
All right.
Right.
One thing I will say before we move on, sir, Commander Jace, is I think we're going to come back to this episode in the future and go, now that we know everything that happened, you know what, this is pretty good because it set up so much stuff that we were really wanting to get.
Yeah.
And that's what I really got from my crew here in the Captain's Quadrant. We want more. And this was a great way to introduce everything because it's been a while since we've seen
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds and we want out. So let us move into the comments.
Yes, there's some really fantastic
There's some
comments.
great-
Sarah also says she wants to hear more about the friendship with Amanda, Spock's mom. Absolutely. And the admiral here says, I think it should have been called a cross-field class. It didn't look like Discovery at all.
Mm.
Mm.
Good call.
And Aaron Sugar says, I get Wowbanger, the infinitely prolonged vibes from her. Who is, I'm not sure
Yeah,
who you're
Jason
referring to.
Gaston, you got that one? Wowbanger?
No.
Wowbanger? No?
No.
Come on, dude. Like,
You got to say, Aaron, your reference has gone all over our heads.
You got us.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to just, Aaron. Could you give us a little bit more on that when you get a chance?
Yes, definitely. Okay, so John, hi, welcome. He says, I thought thoughts on the Klingons. Look, I love the fact that there was a meld between
Yeah.
the Klingon from Discovery that we saw
Yeah, I
that
said
was a sect, and then the Klingons of TNG and Deep Space Nine Klingons, because I you can see that there was a similarity there. I thought that was fantastic.
You think that guy was
Definitely.
part of the Klingon High Council? Because he was all in gold and he was like,
Yeah.
I'm here. You know, like Nita?
Probably.
Yeah.
We also have here, Ernesto says Klingon kids. Definitely. It says here, Aaron says the drinks of the many outweigh
Yeah,
the
wait.
drinks of the few.
That's pretty great.
love
That's
it.
pretty good.
That's
I'd be
awesome.
putting that on a t-shirt if I was you,
Yeah,
Aaron.
for sure.
Ernesto
Oh, that's a good point.
Costanza says it's about diplomacy, and he's right. It was absolutely
Yeah,
about
yeah, it was.
diplomacy. Okay,
Agreed.
so here's Aaron. I think he's explaining himself. Thank you. He says he was the immortal being who decided to insult the universe or everyone in it in alphabetical order from the start of life, the universe, and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know that character, Jace?
I've read the book. I don't remember it, but it's been many years since I've read those books, so now I really feel like I need to go back in and revisit them because they are amazing books.
Yeah, so her species, real quick, was known. Once she, you're, because Uhura caught it. Oh, you're a blah blah
Yeah,
blah. You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So the Federation is familiar with them. She's not the same species
Yeah.
as Guinan. That's a different.
Yeah.
Guinan was
Yeah,
Eloran.
Yeah, Guinan was a lot.
Dinah was Elorian, so
Yeah.
she was a different species. I don't think that they were aware of the Elorians just yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they were either, but I did think it was interesting that I think Spock says that, wow, yeah, we didn't know you guys were living with us until the 22nd century.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
kind of wondering if maybe something that old Archer and his crew were involved in
Oh,
might have brought them about.
Maybe.
you think
You
it
know,
was? The,
and one more thing, I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited to see if they bring on a full-on Gorn war and what happens.
maybe that'll be like a setup for season 3. Like this is probably
Yeah.
gonna build up
because
like,
that's got to be big. Yeah,
I'm tired of war. I'm tired of war. I'm tired of
we haven't
it.
had war in forever. There hasn't been a war.
Yes.
We literally had war like 4 years ago on Discovery. There was
That
like
was
a big
4
Klingon
years
war.
ago. It's time for
Yeah,
new
but
war.
I'm tired of war. I don't want no more
Wait,
war.
wait,
I
is the
just want-
Klingon War that they were referencing the Discovery Klingon War? Was that
Yes.
a connection?
I
Yeah?
thought so.
Yeah, that was it. That's what they were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I felt as well.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah.
Commander, take us to the next level.
Might have well.
He's laughing.
Nice, nice.
That is awesome. Awesome. Well done.
This is our new segment where this is just going to be off the cuff kind of chat. Kind of like what we've been doing for the last 10 minutes, basically.
Yeah, the whole middle section.
I think, can I just say,
Go for it.
I thought that fight scene was average at best, guys.
Really?
I thought it was perfunctory.
Oh, I
I thought it
really
was
enjoyed
derivative. I also questioned the idea of that being okay to use pharmaceuticals. Like, I don't know about the messaging of, hey, if you want to get out of situation, take some drugs, kids. You'll be fine.
That's what they were saying. They were saying
That
take
was-
steroids, kid.
Straight up.
Yeah, exactly. I think Pfizer sponsored that episode, I think.
Absolutely.
So,
I
unbelievable.
think if it gives you an edge, then yeah, take it and kick some butt, okay?
If I'm not-
So you're
sometimes-
someone in the Olympic Games, everyone should just, take drugs,
We're not talking about the
Ruin up
Olympics.
everyone.
We're not talking about the Olympics. We're talking about a fight scene. We're talking about fighting. That's kind of like a mini kind of war that they were having down there.
To me, the best part about that is really, again, I'm going to hammer down on what's going on with Mbenga. That's where the real interesting stuff is. Because he is damaged goods, guys.
Yeah,
He is dangerous. Yes, you won't like Mbenga when he's angry. I couldn't agree more. Which means, for me, when I watch him in future episodes, I'm going to question some of his decision making.
Ooh.
I really am. Because, like I said, look at Chapel looking at him a few times in those scenes. She was scared of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I
was
think
like,
that fight scene is what he needed to get that out. I think that whatever PTSD he's dealing with was so deeply rooted that he wasn't even aware of it. So no one else would have been aware of it. And that fight scene kind of brought that up to the surface. And now he's obligated to deal with it, because I doubt they're not going to have Chapel confront him about it
no.
at some point.
No.
I think
No,
she
she
will.
barely made it out. So she's
Yeah.
just gonna be like,
I understand the fight scene needed to happen. My criticism of it, I just thought it was very... reminded me a lot of fight scenes. That is currently the popular way to shoot these fight scenes, with these hallway scenes. But I understand it. I just wish they kind of got out of it with science, not, drugs.
yeah,
Yep.
drugs science.
I love
Yeah,
the
drug
fact-
science.
I
It is
love the
bad.
fact that the
Drugs
fight
is
scene
bad.
It's
was
not
like
really
in
drugs.
the corridor, because you saw that a lot in the original series. A lot of fight scenes happened in the corridors of the Enterprise.
Yeah, that will fit.
I'm like,
Hey, did anyone notice, like, when they do inject that stuff, it reminded me of when Homer eats the McRib? His eyes dilate. He's all jacked up.
One thing I want to say, Nita, thank you for bringing me back those 90s vibes. I was listening to Freestyle on the way home, and those loop earrings was like in every video, and I was like, oh my God, she's wearing the loop earrings.
Got the hoops.
it's
I love
called hoops, not loop.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was all loops.
This
Anyway.
is a big shift. This is a big tonal shift for us too, guys. Because the last thing we watched new of Star Trek was
Picard.
very tonally different with Picard, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing we're jarring, because this is a very, they're laying heavy with the comedy with this show, aren't they? There's a lot lighter tone.
There's a good balance of everything. There's a little bit of action, a little bit of comedy, and a lot of space stuff. Because how cool was it when the Enterprise was chasing that other ship, and like all those space crystals were like zooming by, and they kept dinging it. I thought that was so
You
cool.
have to, though, admit the conversation that Commander Paleo was having, or Chief Paleo was having with Spock, when she was outing what they had done. That conversation was probably the funniest thing. She's like, "Do you know I teach?"
Yeah.
Or,
Exposed Spock to
Yes.
Spock big
Yes, that was
time.
great.
And he's standing there. How do I lie? I
Yeah,
do
you
both
can't.
of them.
Yeah.
Can't lie, yeah.
You can't.
Oh,
She was amazing. I love the choice, because when I'm watching it, I'm going, what is that accent? What is she trying to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it
And
out either.
then to find out, no, that's a very particular kind of dialect that species does. That's their kind of, I thought made it even more amazing. I
And
think
so
she's my
I
new
absolutely,
crush.
Yeah, agree with that.
I'm in
I
love with
it.
Carol Kane. Big
She's
time.
amazing. She's amazing.
Oh,
I
you
love the fact that they had Uhura just kind of point that accent out and go, oh, yeah. Because that's her specialty.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I love how she took charge of her station when that guy wanted to do the upgrade. It's like, no, you can't do that now, because that's who she was in the original series, was someone who was
They
in
are
charge.
handling her so well in this
Yes,
show,
they
aren't
are.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing such a great job with her. So, yeah, absolutely.
Nita, if
Brings
you
a
wouldn't
lot
mind,
of honor to it.
Nita, if you wouldn't mind, Ernesto says that was Enterprise season 5. Start out real quick.
Yes, Ernesto.
Enterprise
That was
season 5.
Enterprise season 5.
I'm thinking, Joe, are you trying to reference a season that I haven't seen? I think most of us haven't seen season 5 of Enterprise.
They probably would have come across this species in season 5.
That's what
I think that though John makes a good point here about
really
Mamenga, that he is still grieving the loss of his
Yes,
daughter.
exactly, John. And that's my thing is you have a man who's lost his daughter, a man
That
who's
takes a long
traumatized by
time.
war. He is not somebody that I think he's got all his faculties together. Nor do I think I think Chapel and him are going to go head to head as they go through this season. You know, because he's going to really start to come unravel.
I think, that's true, and he'll lose.
Yeah,
his
I think
commission.
Chapel will confront him, and he will deny it and be like, "No, we were in the moment, blah blah," and he won't accept it because that's the process of PTSD. It's not. It's just that's just a normal process, right? And I think though that he will come to terms with the fact that he has to deal with these issues that he has.
I don't see it ending well for him.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, can we say now we've got a second engineer, right? So we've had Hammer, and we've had now Palia, Commander Palia. Is this going to be like this is Spinal Tap deal?
Yes.
Like the engineer's going to blow up at the end of every season?
Yeah.
I hope not.
You might just bounce because she's not technically the engineer. She's just kind of coming along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any engineer that complains about immortality is really giving us a little foreshadowing, I think.
Yes, great point, Jace. Absolutely. She's probably ready to go on one big last adventure.
I just wanted to welcome this a first-time viewer here. Let's talk about it with Anish G.
Amina G.
Amina
Hey,
G.
great logo.
Sorry. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
way,
he says, John says that Mamenga is going through a dark path. And again, I think that he has
Justice
to
for
go
Hammer.
through it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Put that back up, Nina.
Hashtag Justice for Hammer. Absolutely.
I accidentally clicked on that one, but yes, we
great.
do want
Justice
justice
for
for
Hammer.
Hammer.
If you guys are fans of Hammer and you haven't seen, we've actually interviewed Bruce Horrick, who's the beautiful man behind Hammer.
Great
Please
interview.
go take a look at that interview series. It's fantastic. And if you're new here, please subscribe and like this video. The more you like it, the more the YouTube gods will descend upon our show and give us up to the other.
Well, the great thing about that interview is it still turned out great despite of you and me. That's what's amazing about that.
I thought we made that interview very well.
Bruce Horak made the interview. You guys,
we were functional at best.
I was like, so Bruce, and I actually hung out with him for a little bit at the Trek Long Island, took pictures, and we were chatting. We had a nice. I had a nice long conversation with my buddy Bruce. I'm gonna put my feet up real quick. But, he actually was talking about Agony Booth, and
critically acclaimed Agony Booth.
Yes, the critically acclaimed Agony Booth.
Yeah.
That has made.
Aaron says he's going to come back as his
And if he starts dancing side to side, going, "It's Hammer time," I'm in for that.
I won't even be mad.
It'll be a lot of fun.
That would be awesome.
Hey, Joe, can I ask Jason something? You said this before, and I've got to dig it deeper. Have you got a problem with an upcoming Gorn War?
Gorn War!
Gorn War!
I'm just tired of war. I don't want war. I want Final Frontier and exploration and fun and lightheartedness. I don't want. Yes, we've been fighting this war for 8 months. 20 billion people are dead, and my dog has worms. I'm so tired of that.
You bring up an interesting point because when I was watching TNG back in the day, the thought of the Federation being at war was such a distant thing in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I loved about that era. It was all about exploration and things like that. And, we've had too many wars now. These guys haven't stopped fighting at this point, have they?
Yeah.
You know what I thought was going to happen? I was thinking about Joe when I was watching this. When Spock stole the Enterprise, I said, I bet you they're going to come back all raggedy and messed up and looking like the ghetto prize.
Oh, no. The infamous ghetto pride.
I
There
wanted
it
him
is.
to come back all screwed up and be like,
Right there.
"You're gonna be here for a while. We've got to fix you up."
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're doing. It's it banged up from all the like space crystals, and they're gonna fix it. And while they're fixing it, they can go have the trial of Una.
Nice.
So
Everyone's okay with Spock being emotionally immature.
yep.
Absolutely.
He's young.
He's
Yeah,
very
he's super
young.
Yeah.
He
I like
hasn't
it a lot.
gone
I just
through-
didn't
Yeah.
know.
Guessing that,
I could
so-
see
Yeah.
criticism going, that's not our Spock, for good reason.
He's not.
He's
He's
young.
not our Spock yet.
Not
That's
our-
right.
Not our
Exactly.
Spock yet. And remember, Spock hasn't gone through any of the Kolinars or any of the Vulcan things to purge emotion. He's
Spock
simply
Bar.
existing here
Yeah.
as is. So he has.
I love
hasn't
I loved
even done the
Mbenga's
phone call.
explanation, though, of why he was losing it and gave
Yeah.
him the violin. Which
love that.
Vulcans, just
It's a loop.
perfect musicians, just like that.
It's like,
Well, they know math.
oh,
Exactly.
it's in the
Mathematical.
hit. Say, drop it like
Yeah.
it's hot.
I want to know if anybody else picked up on the fact that Chapel was talking about leaving for 3 months to go study on Vulcan.
Yeah.
Because this is the way I see things. She's sweet on Spock. Spock is sweet
Mhm.
on her. Spock has a wife. Spock's wife lives on Vulcan. She's going to Vulcan.
Can't fight.
Oh, I was thinking
I thought,
if I
thought
can't have,
Kring was at that Unkishtung prison. I didn't
Yeah,
think that
with
was on
Cybok.
Vulcan.
Isn't that on Vulcan?
I didn't think
No.
I
so.
thought that was separate.
That's a different moon.
I could have sworn that was on Vulcan.
That's a different
It's in the
planet.
vicinity. It's in
I
the
don't know.
vicinity.
It's in the
If-
vicinity, probably.
If
yeah.
T'Pring knows that Chapel's on Vulcan, she's gonna jump on a shuttle. She's gonna leap out of the shuttle, just taking off her earrings.
I was thinking, if I
Whipping
can't
the
have
back
You-
of
you,
You're about to live long in pain.
Okay,
love that
here we
big
go.
looking
Devil's
ring.
advocate.
I thought she was going to pick up Cybok since she couldn't
Yeah.
have Spock.
Well, here's a devil's advocate thing. Are they not just wasting writing space and wasting episode time on harping on about Chapel and Spock's relationship, even though we all know what kind of happens in the end?
I would like to know how it goes about getting to where it's at. It's like we
Same.
said with Spock. Spock's not our Spock yet. Well, that's also not our Chapel yet, and that's not our Spock Chapel relationship yet. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to know what goes on between these two, because let's face it, Jess Bush and Ethan Peck, they got chemistry.
Yeah, they do.
They got
That-
wicked.
It's hot.
They got wicked chemistry.
Hey, look, do we want to start a betting pool whether they bang this season or not? Because
What their
I feel
shins?
like
What?
it will.
it's
It's happening.
No, they're gonna go.
It's-
in
Sure, well,
it's
will.
gonna happen, right?
Get some
Make
green
out in
juice
the
and
turbo lift.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Spock goes into Ponfar and he can't get to Vulcan, and Chapel's like, I got an idea.
Oh,
on a
boy.
rubber glove.
Yeah,
Ah.
but they did that.
I'm sorry.
Damn, Vulcan.
But,
Vulcan
but they did an episode where he goes to confine and can't get to Vulcan, and she brings him some plumix soup and he throws it out. And remember the TOS episode?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
kind of did that. I think he's too young for Pomfar.
I think
Oh
In
no,
Vulcan
you're never too young for Ponfar.
that
Yeah.
immaturity. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like the ship to go now.
Now.
And I reckon that's the same line he's going to use when it's time with Pomfar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like this to go now.
No, yeah, totally.
Spock, control yourself.
All right, let's see some more comments and then we'll move on.
We'll move on.
Oh, absolutely. Here we have a comment from Sarah.
Well,
Sarah?
Sarah, you had a...
She says, and his father, Sarek, showed tremendous emotion in TNG. It's not that Vulcans do not feel, they feel so intensely, they must contain it. That is true. Vulcan emotions are dangerous.
It makes them more entertaining and more interesting that way. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, and she also.
I was
wants to
thinking
cast-
that, Sarah, too, that they could hook up.
Oh yeah, that could happen. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be down for that, absolutely.
Really?
Do a,
I
do
didn't
a,
know that.
with that.
do a little.
That could be an
thing with
extended
the-
scene. I
There
don't
you
have
go.
an issue with that.
And I
Do a
will
little
appreciate
thing
Yeah.
with T'Prang, you know.
Oh,
And John
Jesus.
says the showing them showing what is happening between Spock and Chapel, what makes our Spock. Absolutely.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I was just playing devil's advocate there because I bet you there's criticism out there around Spock.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
you're right. There will be criticism. He says, great time in the Charlie X with Spock playing the harp and Uhura singing. Yes, that's my favorite
Oh, if
scene.
only had Spock had that wig on though.
Yeah.
It's not a harp. It's a lerp. It's a lute. It's a lute.
It's a lute.
Oh, it's a
We have to call it a
loot.
lute.
A space loot. Let's get it right, all right?
Oh, Annie, pick up your jaw. Called out. Annie's called out. Wait, she likes
The
it.
idea of Chapel and T'Pring.
Yeah.
So engage our next segment.
It's time to take a break.
Emergency! All systems down! Abandoned ship! Transporter ready! Beaming down Guinan! All life systems failing! Geordie LaForge's now being transported! Hurry! Warp beaming down! Ship breaking up! Transporter ready for data! That's not data, it's lore! Wait a minute, what's going on? Now all systems normal? What's happening? Oh, Q, of course. Testing us again.
Star Trek The Next Generation. New action figures and transporter from Playmates.
What?
That pesky
I
Q.
want that so bad.
That
I
pesky
want
Q.
so bad too.
Wait, Jace, did you have that when you were
I
a kid?
want that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
gonna get it. He's gonna get it, guys. I love this. Yeah, he's absolutely got it. You know, and that's the thing about Jace, isn't it? Like, you'll throw away. They will bang Ernesto. Yes, thank you. I'm with you. I think we should do a Captain's Quadrant betting pool on what episode they do it. That's how
I'm here
confident
for
I
it.
am. Jace, what do you got for us, buddy? Yes,
I
bravo.
have it. Amazing.
That.
Bravo.
It works.
And it still works.
Oh, that's cool. What does it do? Like spin to get rid of them?
Can
We
come
bow to
over
you, my friend.
and
We
play?
bow to you.
Jace?
That's
Can we
great.
all come over and play?
Uh,
No.
why do I feel like Jace is living out like show and tell? It's like finally I get a chance to show
Yeah,
and tell.
right. Oh,
People never shut up.
my
Now they
time
all-
is now.
Hold on, let me think. Okay, so there we go. There's Superman.
Superman.
He was the only
Okay.
one I could grab, and then hi, Superman.
Superman just. Oh, that's
Then-
cool.
And it's come back.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, does your little cat fit in there? Man?
Oh my god. Yeah, oh my god, what's wrong with you?
Kimona.
Oh, so he's never thought of it, and he's like, God, how dare
We got to move this on, Captain.
Yes, let's engage our next segment.
Let's get our next segment, which is my favorite segment.
It's time for Name That Trekisode. The hell is that?
All right, guys.
All right, gang, we're back for Name That Trekisode. We're back again. Yay! Now,
Yay.
you know what? I've been accused of being mean in this previous segment because there seems to be one winner and one winner only, mostly. So I've decided this season I'm going to make it a little bit fair on everybody. So this particular Name That episode is from the last season of Strange New Worlds.
Yay.
There's only 10 episodes to choose from, guys. All right? So
may
if you
have a
can't
chance.
remember out there, this is how this game works. I have an image here that is currently blurred, and over 30 seconds it's slowly going to reveal. And our contestants above me are going to try to guess what the episode is. And how are they going to be able to let me know? They're going to give me a good old Aussie oi.
Oi.
But before
Oi.
we do it, Nita, do you want to pick some random contestants?
Absolutely, I have that, and they have been assigned. So we have Ernesto Castaña. He is going to be with Jason.
Oh, congrats, Ernesto. You win.
I know, right?
Amina is going to be with Annie.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And Matt is going to be with Joe.
Sorry, man.
Right.
And Karen is with me.
Okay.
So just to clarify, guys, you've never been part of this. These guys are going to play on your behalf, and whoever wins, if you're the a watcher who's assigned to that person, you are going to win a prize.
The
Our
watcher.
captain will be sending you something.
The Watcher. I thought we weren't referencing Picard season 2 anymore.
All right, gang, are we ready? You've got your clue. You know it's from season 1 of Strange New Worlds. We're going to press play now. I really need some good music with this.
Oi!
Oi, Jason.
That is from the Elysian Kingdom.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Correct way, Jason. Well played, mate.
I almost won
Elysian
you something, Matt. I was so close.
Season
I was
1.
going to, and I
I was just
always
rewatching
too
that
late.
episode.
Everyone hates that episode, and I love that.
I
It's one of my favorites.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Yeah.
Oh, and it's over. There you go, guys.
So
So,
we even got a
Ernesto?
produced graphic for the end. That's cool.
yes.
Yeah.
Ernesto, congratulations.
Yeah.
You win a
And
prize.
to make sure you reach out to Joe and give him your details, so you get a surprise.
Yeah.
Can't say it'll be good or not. Who knows? That's the fun of the game. All right, that was it for Name That Track episode.
All right.
All right.
It kills me you have Tom Paris ripping out his own tongue in the background.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody ever said anything about
No
it.
one says a thing, don't they? If you look at the background, you probably get more of a what's going on in my head reflected on that.
I don't like it. I don't like
Yes,
it.
I know. It's disturbing. Even my cats are scared of me. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
It's time for stupid Star Trek questions.
Okay, we are back with stupid Star Trek questions for this
Man,
season.
everything's back this week.
Everything is back this week, and we have a
back.
cracker.
Stuff.
We have a cracker for this week, guys.
Cracker.
And let's have a look. It's from Michael
Michael.
Goodwin.
the
Assuming
Mercury.
not all the alien races keep their junk in the same place, what would the average Starfleet toilet look like? Why is it every question ends up being centered around poo in some way?
For real, right?
I don't know. But it's a fair
I
question.
I think there has to be some sort of option in their quarters where you have a sitting toilet and maybe something standing, like the men's standing, so that if
Urinal.
their genitals are in a different area, they can use.
It's funny. how
Couldn't you
the
just
toilet-
put your lower half in a vacuum seal so it just goes
Yeah,
straight
right.
out of space?
Like how they do on like
Seems
actual
more
space
efficient.
stations.
I don't
Oh.
know that men
Assuming
want their
everybody
junk-
goes out of the bottom half, I don't know.
Yeah, because remember, wasn't Star Trek 6? It was his knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his
It's-
knee.
yeah.
That's still
Put
in
his
the bottom
knee
half, though.
Yeah.
But the aliens in Scary Movie 3 use their fingers.
Right.
Oh,
That's right. Oh, you
I
would have
think
handed
the
it
bathroom has options. Either a sitting toilet or a standing one, so that they can do their business.
Imagine if everything came out of the same spot. So, like, you eat and then it would go out the same way. So it's just.
That would be efficient, though. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
that would be that'd be like a sea cucumbber or a starfish or something. I mean, it's possible. It happens here on
Yeah,
Earth.
it happens. Yeah.
Ray has a good
Hi,
comment.
Ray.
Says,
Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the room. I figure their bathrooms are mini replicators.
I always wondered why they couldn't just transport it directly out of your colon.
Yeah.
Because one bad move and all of a sudden your appendix, your lower half of your colon is sitting in your toilet, or your poo has merged with something else and now it's Puvix. I don't know.
Now I'm dreading the fact I don't have an image of Puvix up on the screen right
Yeah.
now.
Horrified.
Yeah.
Cosmic Mom has a very good follow-up
Oh, no.
question.
Who gets the
Who's
clean?
cleaning the vacuum?
Yeah, that's
Mariner.
Yeah, Mariner.
Mariner.
It's definitely the lower decks crew for sure.
Yeah.
I like to think that the bathrooms of the 23rd century are like voltage adapters, those all-in-one voltage adapters where you just have to spin something and pop something
Oh,
out.
yeah.
But
So
by
like
the
when you're
two-
traveling overseas and you've got the
Yeah.
different
Exactly.
PowerPoints.
And but also I like to think that by the 24th century, you got holographic toilets. So it's just, hey, I need a toilet for an Andorian. And it's right there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, do you think the toilets are maybe in the holodeck?
Oh, they got to be somewhere.
Got to be. And if that was the case, that means there's microscopic bits of poo all in the holodeck when you go.
Well, there's microscopic bits of poo everywhere. There's
Oh, and all bodily fluids. I'm never
I was
going
gonna
into a
say,
holodeck
there's
ever.
like everywhere, like all around y'all, all around me. It's everywhere right now. We are in
Wait,
the world
but
of
is
poo.
it aren't spaceships self-cleaning?
Yeah, the carpet was self-cleaning or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I got a self-cleaning litter box, but it's still full of poo.
Yeah, you still have to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Puvix.
Puvix, yeah.
Puvix.
Puvix is coming, guys. I am got to design Puvix.
We got
if there's a
Puvix.
talented artist out there who could draw us an image of what Puvix could potentially look like, I would be forever grateful.
So if Holodeck 4 is still here, she put out a meme today that was hilarious. Where it's Galron like grinning, and it's a urinal, but instead of being like one thing, it's split into two because they have dual genitalia. So there's like that.
Yes, I saw that one.
Two lots of
was
junk.
Hilarious.
All right, we've answered this question, everybody, correct?
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Join us next week for more stupid Star Trek questions.
All right.
Don't forget to get on our socials, and if you've got a stupid Star Trek question, please send it along. And just like Michael, our friend from Nerdy Up North, you could possibly get it read out on the show.
That's right. You can be infamous by
That's
the
right.
tens of fans that we have. I think that's going to wrap up the show for this week. I really enjoyed this moment to share with you the love of Star Trek and the return of Strange New Worlds.
Yes.
It is great to see so many
Yes,
new
so
faces here. And what are you showing us?
Someone just drew. Who sent you that?
Who sent you that?
I just drew that.
Okay.
Talented.
I'm very talented.
Apparently.
Yeah. Send it to me. I'll Photoshop that.
Who sent you that, Jason? You're not good at anything. Where did you get that?
I thought it was Aaron again.
That's going on a t-shirt.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of fun this season. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe. The subscribe is very important, but when you subscribe, ring the bell so that you can be alerted of when we go live and we can have all the holy hell fun that we just had tonight. It's going to be so much. Make sure you come every week. We will be back next Thursday, same time, 9 p.m. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with people you don't like because we're weird. And, it'll be interesting to see what they think of us. And we're going to cut away to our new merch store. Hi. Check out SpectrumSanctorum.net for all of our podcast merch. We have an entire merch store ready to give you all the things that you loved about our podcast. And get notified on all of our socials. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and our Spectrum Sanctorum merch store. Follow us today and be sure to hit that L when you're watching our YouTube videos so you can be notified of when a new episode